All right, hello everyone. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right, let me move over to the next scene so that way you can see just what we're doing today. We are testing out games, and we are testing out Mega Man first. I want to see how it runs. So far, from what I've seen, once I do everything that I need to do, I bumps between 59 and 61, something like that. So it's not always like consistent. One thing I did notice, however, is that it's always like my CPU will fluctuate, and I think I don't want it to fluctuate. I need to figure out how to get it to not fluctuate when I'm gaming. And it also looks like my GPU isn't even being that used that much, really. So anyway, had some complications this morning with trying to connect one of my game pads to it. It would not recognize it or anything. And then I plugged in my other gamepad and it worked just fine. So that was an interesting experiment. Let's see. What's the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, the reason we're not doing a drawing stream today was because I don't have the stuff in from the mail yet. I don't know when the mail's running today. So I want to go ahead and get this stream out of the way in case something happened. And then it allows me for some sleep before I have to go in for work. On CashieOS, hey, welcome back. No, not on CashieOS. This is Arch still. Listen, I haven't had the time to back up my original files, or to back up all my files, and I don't know that I want to go to CashieOS just yet. But if you guys seriously think that it's gonna boost my performance all the way around, yeah, it might be something that I consider going to. I just don't have the time right now to. I mean, I have the time later on today. I just don't. Like there's like a certain time today in which I'm not going to be available to do anything really, so it's just a matter of like managing my time. Like that's like a mental process for me too, like trying to switch to a different distribution. Some of them need some packages to work. Gotcha. But yeah, I'm just here at the moment. But yeah, let's see how we do with some gaming. Let's go with the it will really boost your performance and handle everything for you. Yeah, I mean that's what the goal is. Because right now it's not performing like I would want it to. A snapper backup. Nice. Let's see. Let's play, and then we... Oh my. Look at that frame drop. We are not doing so well. This has dropped back to like 30 FPS. Can we do anything about this? No, I guess not. Or maybe that's just the way the game is supposed to be run. Alright, so I was told in this game we would use Bomberman first. Just want to make sure everything runs like it's supposed to. Oh, try use Vulkan. No, I don't use Lutris. Uh, if you update your systems and find out everything's broken, no problem, you can roll back. Oh yeah, that's kind of like a time shift. Yeah, I know about backup uh, packages. But no, this is just Steam. Okay, so I mean, it seems like it's going to do its job. It's been a long time since I played Mega Man. Oh, it's better than Time Shift? Nice. Because you can roll back from the grub. I would imagine that that would be very handy. Oh man, this is just killing me every which way. I mean, the game seems to still run just fine though. Can I not bend down? You need to bend down and touch your toes, Mega Man. Like seriously. Go ahead and do that for me, and then you should be fine. Yeah, imagine you can always have a working system. That would be lovely. Oh, do I want to go for that? I mean, I kind of have to now. I'm. That really was not worth it, was it? I guess you can stretch your screen for the game. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Let me see what my options are. No, that doesn't do anything. I could do wide, but wide's just gonna stretch the game. Um, I think what it is that it's just because of my window manager. Like, it doesn't shrink down the way that I want it to. Yeah, going for more health than lost it. That's what I did. Exactly. Are you kidding me? I lost to that dude? No, I'm just playing. Listen, like I said, it's been a while since I've played Mega Man. But we're going for the sake of testing things out. Oh, just everything is attacking me at once. Imagine that. Alright. Oh, I got gypped. No, this is with Mega Man Legacy Collection. So this is Steam. Are you serious? Bro. Let me just move on past all these. Okay, not bad. I could have swore there were less of those happening. Oh, why did I think I could make that? But yeah, probably using other means would have been better than using Legacy Collection, because then I could just, I don't know, but then, I mean, I could monitor it. I just, oh, that's what it is. I can't get too close to him. Gotcha. I'm about to die. You don't have to die, you just can't live. That's the problem with the game. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be better because I was gonna be able to use I mean, even though in a terminal I've got like B top and H top going on, I thought it would be better to use like the Steam version of this. I don't know. I mean, we can go to a different version, and it may even be better on my FPS. Like, you never know. Maybe better. There was no way he was supposed to jump that high. Like, are you serious? Alright, I'm getting attacked every which way. You know, I keep doing the same thing, and I'm thinking I'm going to get better. But, you know, that's just... If you learn anything from Einstein, that just leads to insanity. I guess 30 frames on this kind of games is fine. Yeah, I don't know. I like it to be more smooth. I also have... there was only 2 games that I downloaded on Steam. Or from my library, rather. I downloaded... it was... Also for this type of game, they use Vulkan. Gotcha. So the other game that I downloaded was Lego Jurassic Park. Or Lego Jurassic World, I mean. Got a free life out of that one. That's not too bad. Explodey. Oh, imagine not taking my time. Even on phones, they use Vulkan because it's better. Yeah, I just don't know enough about Vulkan. Well, actually, you know, I take that back. I was sitting here watching Jurassic World just load the Vulkan shaders for like 20 minutes, and then for some reason, it wouldn't show my FPS and it wouldn't show Mango HUD or anything like that. So it's one of those games that I'm not going to be able to monitor unless I'm on the screen for my B top and H top. And that's kind of sad. Like, I won't be able to necessarily monitor it for FPS, I don't think. Just because of the limitations of B top. But B top will show me how much of my GPU is being used. And then I just have to kind of guess what's going to happen from there. But one thing that I did do that was different from yesterday in regards to streaming was that I made it to where I made it to where it would take, like, OBS would take the highest priority. I don't know how well that's working, though. But yeah, we'll see, because I do plan on playing Jurassic World here in a little bit. Oh, Vulkan HUD equals 1. Give me 1 second. We're going to see how that works. Not we won't see right now, but um, I'll have to test it out later because I don't feel like doing all that testing on like while I'm streaming. Like I kind of just want things to run as they're supposed to. But yeah, we will try out. I'm gonna give this a few more tries, and then I'll probably move on to like Jurassic World. Yeah. No, I get it. I've always got to get blowed up. Why? Why must you do this, Mega Man? I thought you loved me. I mean, we see now. We see now, right? You don't. Alright, so then we go up here. We go up here. Doodly 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 doodly. Yeah, here's the thing about Jurassic World. The Lego Jurassic World is going to, uh, like, you're going to be able to see more of the screen. Like, it's going to be widescreen, don't get me wrong, but where did that torpedo come from? It's actually a bullet, I would say. No! Oh, dude. I would have had it. I would have had that life. I just want to see how OBS is doing. Yeah, OBS seems to be doing fine for the most part. Like, it's holding its cool. My GPU isn't being used at all. My CPU is fluctuating. I would like for it to be at a constant 3.4. So I got to figure out how to do that later on. But yeah, Kaji, hi. Welcome back. It's the peak of gaming? Yeah, I mean, I guess. I guess. It's something or another. I mean, here's the thing. If I wasn't streaming, I could play this at 60 FPS, probably. But like I said, I am using the Legacy collection, so I don't know how well, because like I could pull it up. Eventually, I'll pull up like a game that I own. Uh, can you just stop, my dude? I'm trying to win. But yeah, we'll pull that up, and then we'll do Jurassic World first, and then we'll do something from my library of retro games. Did you download every package for the gaming? So I did game mode. I did Mango HUD. Aside from that, I don't know if I've done everything. I know that I've had to run special. I've had to run special launch commands for it. Vulkan. Have I downloaded Vulkan? I don't think I know how to download Vulkan. Because that could be my problem. Okay, I'm a little bit farther than I was. I'm a little bit farther than I was, you guys. I got like one little tick left, and that ain't gonna last long. Yeah, I didn't even know he was coming, dude. Oh my dude. Uh oh, to make sure, type in terminal. Uh, okay. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Um, no, I don't want to do it on that one because it may crash my OBS. Yeah, let's just open one here, I guess. VL cube. The command was not found, so no, I do not have it. This one was on purpose. I know, right? All right, so let's see how we're gonna switch back to this one for a moment. I want to see how Jurassic World does. Do 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 do. Nom 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 nom. And this one, when I was monitoring it last night, it like, okay, what are we doing here? There we go. That's what I wanted. I mean, are you sure? Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. OBS is doing fine. Oh, of course I haven't switched to this to the scene yet. There we go. Yeah, the scene looks fine nonetheless. I mean, it's processing it. You can tell it's a little slow just about. Or maybe it's just because I haven't started playing yet. Um, the CPU is doing better in that regard. The GPU is setting at 0%. I don't understand. Because yesterday when I was playing the game, it was like all over the place. So I'm wondering if it's just using my CPU to process this. I just wonder. Oh, there we go. Can I not access it with... Oh, that's going to be a bugger. Control configuration. That's what we want. No devices selected. What do you mean no devices have been selected? Of course I want to change the device. Yeah, this is like really... What am I doing? Press enter to edit the current one. Hello, Katsu. Welcome to the stream. What you're witnessing here is that I am trying to figure out my life. No, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the game here. What are the video settings like? Did I change that? 1280 by 800? That doesn't sound right, does it? No. Oh, well, I guess we could do 1280 by 800. The refresh rate is 60. Vertical sync's on. The textures. Let's go with low. I'm assuming that's okay. Accept. The effects settings. I guess that's on. Shadow quality is off. I don't know what the rest of this stuff is, but we will accept it. For some reason, this game does not want to work with my controller. Like, we started playing on Steam with the Mega Man Legacy Collection, but for some reason, this just does not want to. Let's see if we can change the device. I mean, you got player 1 and then you got player 2. I do not understand. Press a key on the device you wish to select. Oh, there we go. And then accept. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. Do 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 do. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. Okay, so let's do a. I want to load my previous game. I think I'm only like 50% of the way there. I just like we're not gonna do too much into it, but I just want to see what it's gonna do. So yes, let's confirm the load. Okay. So that's working just fine. My CPU is doing okay. My GPU, I haven't seen anything from my GPU. I wonder if it would help if I... Yeah, because this is like really slow. And, you know, to be fair, it's probably just my computer. Because this used to run pretty smooth. In fact, let's see about doing options. Let's do video settings. Can I not change the refresh rate? Then what's the point? What's the point in having a refresh rate option if I can't change it? Maybe do 30 or vertical sync off or 30. Let's do vertical sync off. And then let's use the current display mode back, and then let's resume. Okay, I kind of don't like that. 30 FPS. Accept. Oh boy. That just crashed. That just crashed my game. Boy, oh boy. Jurassic World will run. I've just got to learn how to better optimize. Let me see how a normal game of like using something else would run. Do. Okay, so that's interesting. It is making my FPS go down in OBS. So let's see why that is. Thank you guys for being patient with me as we do this. I was not expecting a lot of these hiccups. Thanks for being patient with me as we do this. But how do I get it to not take priority? I mean, I guess I could run the original command for it, but like it's a little odd. It's not even using my GPU. Why isn't my GPU being used? That I don't understand. Zeron, welcome to the stream. You're just watching me fail at life at the moment, trying to get all of this going. So we'll switch it to there for now. And my FPS is fluctuating because I think it's trying to take priority. And maybe I don't want it to take priority. Let me see if I can back that down. Okay, so what we need to do is and then we'll do then what did I do the other day to make it run? Priority is issued between OBS and game. Would just nice work? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out because with OBS I've got nice set to -20, and with the game that I'm about to play, I wanted to do it at like 19 for the priority. Also, welcome back. So, yeah, I'm just trying to figure that out. Just trying to figure it out, my dude. because yesterday I was able to run it through the terminal just fine. Let me see what command I used for that. Oh, I misspelled it. That's what it was. Don't mind me. Okay. So we'll do, and then nice, and then we'll do 19, and then we'll do so now. I mean, theoretically, we should. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, Mezen is running at 19, so we're good on that. OBS is not running at -20. I don't understand why. But the FPS overall in the game is actually doing well. It's just taking priority. And that's also interesting because I just found out that Twitch keeps disconnecting and reconnecting, even though it's not disconnecting on OBS. Okay, so that is definitely something that I have to work out. I have to figure out how to make this use more GPU, and I have to figure out how to make this run at a constant 3.4 gigahertz for the processor. Those are some things that I need to work on. So now I know. Now I know. If I didn't do this stream though, I wouldn't have known. Even though it may be a little bit buggy, I appreciate you guys being with me though. And yeah, I don't know. I think I may end up going with CachyOS. I'll probably back up my files today, and then maybe tomorrow, if I've got time, I will. Or if I don't know, because I'm supposed to do a drawing stream, and I want to go ahead and do the drawing stream, and then like maybe go ahead and make the switch, and then we use like desktop managers, window manager, tier list, stuff like that. Oh, Heaney, we need to turn you down. Let's turn you down. One moment, please. Yeah, that volume needs to be at like a good 10. Alright, now let's go back to this screen. Yeah, I'm getting some spikes in my FPS in OBS. That one I don't quite understand. Nandu, welcome to the stream. So glad you can make it. We're just doing some gaming today, seeing how that works out. I think maybe what I need to do is just start doing my streams at 30 FPS. I mean, it's like it's a quality of life thing. So like I would rather have a good working stream than like have to worry about constantly dropping the FPS, but I want to try a few other things before we just do that, you know. Okay, so let us see how this runs. I think that might still be too loud. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit loud still. Hello, hello, and welcome. Okay, tools, and then set the audio to about a 5. Just see how that runs. Okay. That's a little bit better. How are you able to say that it's running at 60 FPS, but then somehow you aren't running at 60 FPS? Yeah, I definitely need to move to something else. My dude, what is going on with the game? Actually, it may not be the game. What is going on? Oh, yeah. No wonder. This thing dipped past 30 FPS in OBS. And probably setting it on that lowest priority wasn't good either. I didn't see this from the start. Could it be the emulator and its child processes have the right priority, but the bottleneck is in the graphics stack? Let me think about what you're saying before that happens. Before I comment. One moment, please. I gotta plug this in. Might also be the cause divergence between the FPS reported by the emulator and seen on screen. I mean, it could be. Like, it's not showing that my graphics card is doing anything, though. Like, it just all seems to be coming from... And like, my CPU isn't even going at its maximum capacity either. So, like, even if it is running on the CPU, like, my CPU could do a lot better. But it's choosing not to. And I think that might just be a thing that I have to go into my BIOS and edit. I don't know. But that would require me to end the stream, and I'd rather not end the stream right now, so... Yeah, but this is interesting, because maybe this is a issue with... Also, thank you guys for the subscriptions. I appreciate that. Or for the subscribes. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Because, like, this screen does well, but, like, as soon as you start to move, like, you start to get kind of slow, and I know that's not the way that it's supposed to be. In fact, you know what? I just thought about something. Let me see if I can even play this on 30 FPS. It's not the most ideal, but I just want to see. Let's see, where would I go for that? Probably video. Maybe enable vertical sync. then okay. Vertical sync's probably not going to do anything. Just to let you guys know, it's probably not going to matter. Yeah, I keep switching back and forth just because I don't like to open my settings while I'm in OBS, so. So here's the thing. It seems as though vertical sync did a little bit better. It's not too much better. It's not too much better, but I mean, it's playable now. But the stream went down to like 22 FPS. That is crazy. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Let's try a few more rounds here. So, yeah, I'll probably end up trying out Vulcan. Then there was something else that I needed to do. There's like a couple of other things that I really need to do to the system before I go to CashEOS. I mean, unless CashEOS is gonna do all that for me, then like I could try CashEOS. Like actually installing it on my main, but I've got to update my hard drive with the newest files, so that way I don't end up overriding anything that's important, you know. Yeah, get him out of the way. And it doesn't seem like there was a way that I could stop the FPS from going to 30. I was trying to look and I couldn't find anything in it. And like I'm aware that my hardware is not the greatest, but even on a laptop that was running like 30 FPS, I was able to run an emulator in the past. Yep, just collect all the coins. Do 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 do. Oh, you gotta be. There we go. How about that? I got all mushrooms. How about that? That wasn't even on purpose. Yeah, just give me what I came here for. Let's see, how long have we been streaming? It's been an hour. I don't want to cut it yet. I also don't know what else to do. Because, like, the thing is that I could just stop what I'm doing now as far as gaming and then just, like, talk with you guys about, like, some ideas that we can come up with and some things that I've already touched on that I've done for, like, the gaming experience. In fact, I think that's what I want to do. So let me switch up just a little bit. And then we will just hide that. And yeah, let's just let's have a discussion. So, the discussion about gaming on Linux. What to do, what to do. I tried gaming for an hour, and what happened? Well, Mega Man was doing pretty good, but it wasn't running 60 FPS. Uh, Everything else was doing okay. The GPU. Yeah, let me write it on this one. So the GPU was not being used. The CPU needs a constant 3.4. Vulkan needs to be installed. What are some other things that I can think of right off? Here's some things that have already been done. So I started using Linux-Zen kernel for my kernel. I started using the Zen kernel, and that seemed to have helped it a little bit. I made sure that OBS had the highest priority. I made sure that the game had the lowest priority, and that was probably part of my problem as to why it was being so slow. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, type in VL Cube for Vulkan. Let's see. I installed Mango HUD. Mango HUD won't show up in Jurassic World or Lego Jurassic World. Vulkan will show up in the Legacy Collection of Mega Man. The FPS is not accurate on the game, the retro gaming. So yeah, I guess I just need to figure that out. What else can I possibly do? And here's the interesting part about the CPU. The CPU was using, it was like at 80%, but it was at 80% when it was at like 1.8 or something like that. And that part I don't quite understand. So, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, these are some things that I'm going to try out. Figure out how to use the GPU, how to get the CPU to be at a constant 3.4, and then try to get Vulkan installed. And I'll probably do some testing later on in the future, and we'll see how it goes in the future. You know, I can't guarantee anything more than that. But yeah, while we're here, let's talk with chat. How is everyone doing? You guys doing good? Anything exciting happening in the Linux world? While I'm do that, I want to check and see when my package is coming today. Okay, so it is out for delivery. And then I'll have a boom arm mic, so that way I'll be closer to the mic, uh, and all that good stuff. Pretty good. Trying to run some DS games on Debian right now. Gotcha. Also, welcome back. Uh, yeah, Debian is fun for sure. I don't know. I don't know why I meant to sound sarcastic about that, but like, no, I had a flashback to when I was using Debian, and like, I had some good times with Debian, you know. Good, good. Thank you. About to set up a second VR gaming box. Nice, nice. Um, yeah, I'm not doing too much today. Mostly just trying to relax. Got to do some stretches. But yeah, let's see, what else can I possibly do to, because like I put in like launch parameters or launch commands when it came to the uh Steam stuff. Huh. But yeah, I think everyone's recommendation right now is to go with Kashi OS because it's basically Arch, but just with the better performance, and that's what I'm aiming towards is better performance, really. And then when I go to CashOS, I'm probably gonna, because it's probably gonna happen just so that way I can see what it's like, and if I don't like it, I can always go back to Arch. But um, yeah, I don't want to have to redo everything because I've got my setup all nice and everything with Arch. Hmm. I'm trying to think right now. That's what I'm doing because like if I could just get that GPU to be used or to be utilized in like all my games, because like it wasn't doing anything for the GPU, and that's what was weird because it was like when I was doing Jurassic World and I did the B top test, it showed that it was like using like 99% of my GPU, but then when I'm streaming, it's not using my GPU at all, really. So then that means it's putting a lot of pressure on the CPU, which means that the CPU needs to be at a higher, uh, well, just for everything else that needs to be run, it needs to be on a higher frequency too. So if I could just get it to not fluctuate, that would be the most ideal for gaming, or at least on this PC. I know that at some point I'm gonna have to upgrade my computer, um, because it is not doing what I uh, wanted it to do essentially, or at least that's what it seems like. I've still got to do more testing. I've still got to do more edits to everything, but that's just the way it seems right now. So I just gotta test everything, do the tweaks that I need to do, and see how that runs, and then kind of just go from there. I would like to take this time right now to say that if you have not joined the Discord, please do so. If you are able to, that is where we all hang out. You can ask questions. You can talk with other Linux users. You can post your risings and all that good stuff. And it's a really good way to get in contact with me. If you ever need to get in contact with me, that's going to be the best way. So, would definitely recommend that. I also stream to Twitch, although most everyone here is going to be using YouTube because it's a lot better in my opinion for the type of content that I want to make. Um, and then I also have a GitHub too. GitHub is great because I've got all my dot files posted. I just updated my Hyperland and Waybar config files. I updated them in GitHub. I also make music from time to time. Of course, it is royalty free. You are more than welcome to use it in whatever project you like. Um, and just I'm trying to think of if there was anything else in regards to my social media, because I recently got rid of X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't use it, and I don't have a need to use it, and I'm just trying to like have as less things as possible that I'm using at the time for social media. You know, if I don't need it, then I don't need it. The schedule for tomorrow will depend on what time I get back because I might not be streaming tomorrow. There will probably be a stream Sunday, and there will definitely be a stream on Monday. But it's just a matter of what I want to do. Do I want to do like a gaming on Linux part 2? Do I I'm definitely going to do a drawing stream. I just don't know when that's going to be. And then a I'm trying to think. I think I done lost what I was thinking about. Oh, nice. Do you use Linux at all for music production? Yeah. So what I do is that I use something called FL Studio. It's a Windows program, but it runs just fine on Wine. Uh, so that's what I use for my music production. It's what I've always used. I've used it for the last 13 years now. I was with FL Studio back when they came out with FL Studio 10. That's how old, or that's how long I've been using FL Studio. That could also be another stream too. Try to do a music stream. Could definitely be a thing that we could do. I don't know. It's just there's possibilities that we could do. Cool. I'm interested in music production too. Ubuntu Studio. Why does that sound familiar? I feel like I've heard of it. If it here's the thing about music production in Linux. Unless you are using something that is wine related, it makes it difficult to do music production. I used what was that one program called? It was by Music Bear or something like that. Uh what that's gonna bug me now. What is the name of that? Anyway, there's one music production software that is free and open source, but it is limiting to me. Um, so I don't use it because there's so much potential that it has in it, but it can't do the things that I want or need it to do. so it makes it kind of rough. Uh, Gotcha. Yeah, I think it. I don't know. Like one day I can go into a stream and we can discuss like music production as well. Okay, so that is something we could do. We will do a live stream at some point. If I can even do the live stream, that means I've got to make sure that my CPU is doing good and that uh yeah, so let me write down future streams. So maybe gaming on Linux part 2, drawing stream, uh window manager slash desktop environment tier list, music production, and then maybe OpenSUSE. Maybe I should give a tutorial on, or this is just for live streams. So, live streams. So for videos, we could do Viadoom Mini. As far as the live stream, probably the next OS that I'm going to review is going to be Open SUSE. We'll do Tumbleweed. I'm definitely interested in music production too. I'm still dual booting with Windows 10 for that exact reason. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is when it comes down to it, you can like I don't know what you're using for music production, but you can theoretically use uh, music production software from Windows. You can use it in Wine. It just depends on what you get, and it also depends on um, it just also depends on if um like sometimes you're gonna have VST plugins that don't play well. There was like a saxophone VST that I have that I can only use on Windows because it doesn't work well uh, in Wine for some reason or another. Um, but yeah, I can definitely go over my process and show you guys that music production is possible. You just need to do it with Wine and do it with some good music production software. But the only thing is that when I get in there, like with my current specs and the way that it's been going, if I start if I do the music production stream, there's probably going to be a lot of crackling in the music itself, and I need to be able to find a way to make that better. So that's probably going to be part of me making sure that the CPU is at a constant 3.4. So yeah, we have at least 5 live streams. We have 5 live streams planned now for the future. It's just a matter of when I'm going to get to everything. I have a video planned to do Viadoom Mini, but that needs to be done when I have because like I tried Honk. I went ahead and bought Honk. And Honk is I've just come to the realization that it's just not going to work in Wine. Like the program pulls up and everything, but the characters don't pull up. So like you open the program, you can't even see the characters, but everything else works about it. Which the characters, I would argue, is the whole reason for using the program. So like if you can't even see the avatar moving, then there's no point in using it. Or at least on Linux there's not. I really hope that one day the Honk producers will I really hope that they will consider going with Linux as a possibility for their product. I would buy it again if that was the case, and I would try it out, see how it works. But if I was on Windows, Honk would work just fine. But the only other thing that I could use would be like Viadu, and I got to figure out what is going on with the FPS there in order to continue using it, which is why I haven't been using it lately. Um, and I'm also serious on an unrelated topic. I'm also considering not streaming to Twitch for a little while. I don't see where it is successful for me or as successful. Um, just because there's a lot of back end stuff on my end that I have to do when I start streaming, and it just seems like it's a lot for me for like no uh, payoff, because like rarely do I get anyone coming from Twitch anyway. So I think it would be best if I only stuck to YouTube for a little while. But I could also have my Twitch there in case I need to stream, and for if for some reason I can't hear, then it would be a great platform to be able to stream there. And then I can just let you guys know in the Discord that like, hey, I'm streaming on Twitch. So that's the reason why I would still have Twitch around, but um yeah. Just some thoughts that are occurring. Do, 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 do. And one thing that also helped too, as far as errors go, is that I set my encoder to be like the lowest possible. Uh, I don't think it's affected my streams at all, or it doesn't seem to. I'll have to watch the playback from yesterday. So yeah, um, got some big plans for sure. Um, I'm just trying to think about like if there's any programs or any kind of things that I've run into lately that I could talk about. No, I can't think of anything. No, because mostly that was my stream for today. Today was trying to see, like, I thought that I was going to be able to game more than I actually did, which I technically could. I could go back and play Mega Man some more and just not worry about it, but um, I don't know. The gaming just didn't seem like it was holding up at all. So it happens though. Like it was a learning curve for me trying to learn and figure out like what's gonna work and what's not gonna work. Lets me know how I need to tweak things. Okay, so here's a discussion. What do you think is like the most important program in your life right now that you can't run on Linux for one reason or another? I think that's my question to everybody. I think for me, it would be Honk. I mean, it works, but it doesn't work too. Um, let's see. What's another program that I have a difficulty time running? PF Sense. Um, I don't know what that is. I would say Ableton, but I tried a long time ago. I wonder if you can run it now. You know, I never thought about running Ableton. Ableton is a program that my favorite music producer uses, or DJ rather. Well, producer and DJ, um, and that's what most of the people use these days. Anyway, is Ableton. I use FL Studio because it looks like that's how I started. Um, that's just how I started making music, and I I don't know, like it was just a better workflow for me. But let's see, all the programs in my life for Linux except pfSense, which is FreeBSD. Nice, nice. Hi, chat. Hi, Mr. Plasma. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you around here before. Thanks for joining us. Today we are on the discussion of gaming on Linux. We did some gaming earlier that did not turn out too well, but I learned a lot from it. So I switched to Linux 1 year ago and never going back. I think for a lot of people, I think they also feel the same way. Like they go with Linux um, and they don't want to go back for one reason or another. Um, and even like for me when I because like I've always fluctuated between going to Linux and going with Windows. Um, I've always come back to Linux though for one reason or another. Like it was just something that I knew was for me, but like for some reason I just um, I just kept coming back. But yeah, I don't plan on looking back. I don't see a reason to go to Windows because everything that I need to run basically runs on Linux. I've just got to figure out some kinks in my specifications of my computer. Um, but yeah, we're welcome to have you. And listen, since you are new, I will tell you about the Discord. Discord is a great place to get in contact with me. If you need to get in contact with me, there's a link in the description for Linktree. You can also talk with other Linux users. You can ask questions. You can show your risings and just have a jolly old time if that's something that interests you. The telemetry and data collection in Windows is too much to handle. Linux is not only faster but also more flexible. I would agree. The I don't know. I think what did it for me at the time was like Windows Recall. Windows Recall, like I didn't make a video about it, even though everyone else was making a video about it, because like, a year later, it's like not as much of a big deal. Um, but like I just don't. I don't know. I didn't like it at the time, but at the same time, I didn't make a video about it because like everyone else was. Um, but no, I would agree. Do you use a window manager or desktop environment? Well, thank you. I also would like to think it's awesome. I spent a lot of time working on the Waybar. This is Hyperland. So it's Hyperland, and my panel is called Waybar. So yeah, I'm using Hyperland. So it is a compositor. Technically, is what they call it. I call it a window manager, just because if we're gonna compare it to something like Awesome WM, for example, or Qtile, like they're all window managers. So, you know, I, I still consider it a window manager. Um, but yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah. Now Windows for me was just one of those things that, I mean, if I had, there's just no customization like there used to be, and they used to be like in Windows XP, for example, I could customize like the cursor, I could customize my taskbar, I could customize the font and the colors and all that good stuff. And you know, it may not have been the prettiest because I was trying to go for a Nightmare Before Christmas theme, but like I still thought it looked or I guess that my point was that it was about customization, which was why I liked MySpace. MySpace was a place where you could truly customize your look and feel of your profile, and you just don't get that these days. YouTube kind of used to be that way too, but then they changed, and it's just one of those things though. In my case, I tried Mint, Ubuntu, Fedora, and Arch, but my favorite is Mint so far with Cinnamon. Yeah, Linux Mint is one of those distributions that I will recommend to a beginner. I usually recommend Linux Mint or Pop OS. It depends on what kind of feel you want to go for. Um, I started off on Pop OS, and then I went to Ubuntu, then I went to Arch, then I went to Debian, and then I went back to Arch. And then here and there, I tried other distributions to see if I liked them. Like, for example, I tried Garuda Linux, and I do not care for Garuda Linux. Um, yes, Linux is just more freedom. Windows is holding your hands too much and doesn't let you do anything. Um, yeah, I mean, I would agree with that as well. Um, there's definitely more freedom in doing what you want to with it, for sure. Um, I I think that it is, I don't know. Pop! OS wouldn't function in my PCs. I don't know why. Um, I don't know. I guess I would just ask you what you were running then. Like if you were on AMD or if you were on Nvidia, because I think that could make a difference for sure. What is your favorite thing about Linux that you wouldn't give up? Oh, that's like asking who's your favorite child. I think that's that's a hard question, my dude. Uh, I would probably say just Hyperland and Waybar right now. That's something I would not want to give up because I have all my customizations and I love the way that it looks and feels, and it's just great the way that I've got it. If you are interested in trying out Hyperland at some point, uh, you probably would want to uh, go to my GitHub. I have my .config files for Hyperland as well as Waybar. Your PC is Intel i5. Okay, I also have Intel. And then you got an RTX 2060. Okay, so it sounds like also a nice GPU. You should be an interview. Yeah, yeah, you should. I was just thinking here that like I don't know. I started like sometimes like I'll have like a set thing that I want to do for my streams, and then it ends up I end way early than I should. Um, but I I don't know. Like every time I stream, like I start to run out of things to talk about, and then it just starts this whole cycle. Still scared to try an actual window manager though. I agree customization on Linux seems to be unmatched. Yeah, I would say that as well. Um, window managers, if you're gonna try one, I would say try Hyperland first. Like especially if you're on Wayland. If you're not on Wayland, then I would recommend Awesome WM. But the thing about Awesome WM is that if you do something in your code, then you might not be able to log back into your window manager, and you'd have to go into your config file through Vim in a TTY, and do it that way, and like just edit the file. With Hyperland, if you make a mistake, you will get an error, but you will not crash your or you will not make it to where you can't log back into it. If you will give me just a moment. Well, my progress is I understand a lot of terminal commands and I know how to solve problems with forums, know distros, what they are, etc. But Hyperland may be too advanced, at least for now. No, I can understand that. Um, Here's what I will say about Hyperland. Hyperland is a very like basically all that you're doing is for your config is that you're either changing it to true or false, or you're changing a integer, or you may just be adding like you're not adding a lot of coding like you would in like Qtile or Awesome WM, for example. Um, so I would definitely say that it makes it easier to do like your editing with Hyperland. I'm very looking forward to Wayland support on Cinnamon. I think the Mint team will be forced to adopt Wayland faster since Ubuntu will not support Xorg anymore. I mean, yeah, that's probably the case then, yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, it's just a config. It's just like you get one config file that you're dealing with. You can install things like Hyperpaper for your wallpaper, Hyperlock for your lock screen, and stuff like that. Um, but your biggest customizations is going to be with Waybar. And if you have worked with FastFetch, then you know something about JSON C files, so it shouldn't be that difficult when it comes down to it. I'm a hardcore Xorg fan. Will no longer recommend Ubuntu variants after that stuff. That's valid. Lots of topics I'm at the other extreme of. Respect all views, etc. No, I understand that. I personally like when it comes to Xorg, Awesome WM. I can't stress that enough. If I had to recommend a second window manager, I would go with Qtile. But I did everything I wanted to with Awesome WM. But then there were things that I did in Waybar that I found out that I liked better than Awesome WM, and that's why I wouldn't go back. Is because I found that there was way more customizations that you could do with Waybar than there was with Awesome WM at the time. So that's just where I'm at with it. Always prefer Sway over Hyperland. I see, that's the thing. I did try Sway. Sway limited me, and I think it was partially because I just didn't know enough about Sway. But I didn't have a good time. Like, I tried it for a few days, and I got it customized as much as I wanted to, but then I lost interest in it, and then just, you know, just stopped using it. I've been told that Awesome Window Manager is enough, but I don't have experience of that. I only know KDE, GNOME, and Cinnamon. Yeah, because with Awesome WM, you're going to be coding in Lua, and really, I think what it comes down to is that you're trying to tell me that you're not that savvy with coding, I think. And that's the problem that you're going to run into with window managers, is that you're always going to have like config files that you're going to have to edit, and you're going to have to know how to code and stuff like that. So for you, probably going with KDE, GNOME, and Cinnamon, those are probably going to be your best bets for now until you work your way up. I have had Waybar before in Cinnamon. You had Waybar in Cinnamon. But when I had the Cinnamon taskbar, I couldn't access the start menu anymore. Probably because they're conflicting with each other. More likely. Sway, like Linux Mint, it's boring, but very stable. Listen, I can't argue with that. If it's stable, and you like using it, like, use what you know. Use what's good. Yes, I am a newbie in Java right now. I haven't worked with give me 1 second. I haven't worked with Java. No, I'm thinking of JavaScript. I haven't worked with JavaScript in like, what's it been, 2-3 years now? Something like that. Download Waybar with packages. I meant to say that. Oh, gotcha. I don't know. I never worked with C. I never really worked with Java. The closest I've come to with any sort of Java was like JavaScript. But that was about it. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I know you're not talking about JavaScript. I was talking about JavaScript. Java for Minecraft, yeah. I remember when I was running my own server for Minecraft, that there was like a Linux command that I had to use for Java. And that was it was a long and complicated command that I had to run for it. But I ran it nonetheless. Other than that, I haven't really had any experience with Java. So. Oh, that was the other thing I need to write down. I need to make RAM use VRAM. That was the other thing I needed for that, for gaming. I have coded plugins for servers back in the day. I think some of them are on Spigot MC2. Yeah, I used Spigot as well back in the day. My experience in terms of anything related, well, it's not really related. It's so I used to code Discord bots. These days, unless it's something that you can't live without, it's kind of, in my opinion, it's pointless to make uh, a Discord bot unless you just want your own personal Discord bot. But like, there was a lot of stuff that I used to do back in the day with Discord bots. Um, I just, at the moment, I don't have a use for Discord bots, so that's why I don't code mine. But if I wanted to, I would end up coding, or I could do a coding stream one day for like a Discord bot. That would be something that would be helpful, I think. I don't know, but like I said, um, unless you have something like really special that you need to use a Discord bot for, they're kind of pointless to make because you can find a Discord bot for everything that you need. Do you have experience with Graphene OS, by the way? I'm planning to make my phone more privacy friendly. I actually have not heard of, or I don't have experience because I've never heard of Graphene OS. If it is related to the phone, I have been on the search for like a Linux phone, that I can, uh, you know, so that way because like right now I'm on iPhone and it's convenient for everything that I want it to do in my data as my daily driver, but it would be nice to have something that is Linux specifically. Oh, okay. It's a custom ROM, open source Android with tweaks. I use Lineage OS, but not done Graphene OS. I think I've heard of Lineage. I don't know that much about it. Yeah, I wish I could be more help with that. I just don't know enough about uh, custom ROMs or anything like that. Thank you. And also welcome to the stream. Um, so this is what I consider a neon theme, like a neon rainbow theme. I designed it myself, and my window manager is Hyperland. My bar is Waybar. It's pretty much what I use. Um, let's see. Yes, welcome to the stream as well. I hope slash assume you know about ProtonDB, and almost any game I want runs on Linux. CS2, Borderlands 3, Cyberpunk. What's your PC specs? So, yeah, I have heard of ProtonDB. I in fact had to look up some stuff with ProtonDB. I was able to run Jurassic World or Lego Jurassic World and Mega Man Legacy Collection because of it. Um, my PC specs, I've got a quad core processor. It's 3.4 gigahertz. I've got a Intel UHD graphics GPU, and I got 16 gigabytes of RAM. I got a terabyte of a SSD. Um, I think that's all the specs that I can think of for now. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid that it might be bad for latest update that fix exploits in Android. Minimalist, but also cool. Yeah, I like I like being able to have like I like having all my stuff in Waybar, and just so that way I can make sure I monitor everything. But like um I don't know. I enjoy minimalism to a degree, and also I don't know. There's just like a certain look that I'm going for. And one day, and that may become the drawing stream. When I do the drawing stream, I may end up redoing my. Um, I'll probably end up redoing my wallpaper. Draw something like really nice for it. It's such a shame that game devs use kernel level anti cheats that they won't enable on Linux. Yes. Like Fortnite, for example. Yeah, everyone here, I know how y'all feel about Fortnite, okay? But like the Fortnite will never come to Linux. So, and that's just simply because they don't like the kernel. They don't want to force people to go to a specific kernel. Um, they don't like options, in other words. So the only way that you can play Fortnite is through GeForce Now. Steam has support for these two, but devs decide to block it. Yeah, exactly. Which is my point about Fortnite is that they don't they won't support games like that. And some games they'll downright ban you for like trying to use it on Linux. And I'm like, why are you trying to do that? Why can't you just make the game available for Linux? Like, apparently it's too hard for them. It's too complicated. Oh, yeah. GTA 5. Yeah, I've heard that there's complications with that. I don't care for GTA at all. It's just not my... It's not in my interest. I'm more for, like, cutesy games or, like, Lego games. Stuff like that. Some devs even say Linux users are hackers. Um, well, it so you have to first when you make statements like that, you have to first think about the term hacker because technically speaking, we would all be hackers. But that's just if you go downright to the definition of it. What it comes down to is if you plan on using it for malicious intent. Because if you do, then you're not a good person for because you don't want to use it for good. Um, but like anytime that you're like customizing something that's like what we do, for example, that's how I've been taught to view hackers is like you have to focus on the definition of what a hacker is and figure out what you mean when you say a hacker because people have different definitions for it. Is there a chance you could share your Waybar dot files? I'm now rising my Hyperland setup and would like to know how you did some of your widgets. Yeah, so I just updated yesterday. I updated my Hyperland config files as well as my Waybar config files. I updated them in GitHub. If you go to the link in the description to my link tree, you can click on GitHub and it will take you to my dot files. Go into the dot config files or into the dot config folder and then go to if you're going to Hyperland, you go to Hyper. If you go to Waybar, click on the Waybar folder, and then you should have the thing, and it should show all of the widgets that I've got currently going on here. Yeah, I get what you say. It's just so dumb that devs block Linux because they assume it's easier to cheat in game with Linux. Yeah, and I think that's what they mean by hacker is that they think that it's going to be for malicious intent. So, like for example, cheating in the game, they feel like it's going to be easier to cheat, and therefore they don't want it to be that way. So they just assume we're hackers when in reality you have to define what a hacker is because like I said, everyone has different definitions on what it means to be a hacker. That's what I've come to find out in the Linux community. In my opinion, stopping people cheating in a game should be all on shame/kudos, not trying to run proprietary code at the kernel level. Let me think about what you're saying here for a second before I respond. Yeah, I think what you're saying is that like um I don't know. For me, like I don't know, is a hacker just someone that uses cheats? Because like if that's the case, I use cheats with Game Genie when I'm playing like Super Mario Brothers 3, for example. I'll use Game Genie and run the code for infinite lives. You know, and yes, it does customize the experience, makes it to where I want to play it how I want to play the game. You know, um, some games are professional and important to people. Well, they are in a different corner of the world from me. Yeah, I don't know. Games are just they're kind of there. I don't know. Uh, I'm not really that much of a gamer, so that's why I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I play like uh insert game here because I'm just not that much of a gamer. But there's some games that I do like to play. I wouldn't use a Linux distro that gave access to an outside CO. Yeah, fair enough. I saw a YouTube video some days ago, and they showed how most games they tested ran better on Linux than Windows, and I was honestly surprised. I would love to dish Windows on my main PC. Yeah, so when people also talk about the how it runs better on Linux than Windows, you have to figure out like are they doing any tweaks to it? Like are they doing anything special to it? Because like if you want a comparison of apples to apples instead of apples to oranges, you either have to run it just plain as it is, or everything needs to be like souped up or suited up, or I don't know how you would word that. Uh, you just need to like have all the tweaks, or you have none of the tweaks for each uh, desktop. But yeah, I've ditched Windows. I can do everything I need to on Linux. As I've seen, Windows is declining in market share, so I'm glad. Oh, company, gotcha. Yeah, so that's the thing about market share. I often talk about market share, or sometimes I talk about market share. I wanted to do a video on it at some point, but it's probably just going to be something I talk about in live streams. Um, I may end up making a video on it eventually, but the gist of what I'm going to say is that like the market share for us is usually around 3 or 4%. I think the last number I heard was 4%. And like because people are always talking to me about like the year of the Linux desktop, and like even though Windows is declining, um, I think in my mind I feel like just because Mac OS is the second runner up, I think people would go with Mac over Linux. But at the same time, I also feel that there's not really, just in my opinion, of course, just take that into mind that this is my opinion. I I don't think it's likely that there will ever be a Linux or a year of the Linux desktop. I'm not saying that there can't be. I'm saying that it's not likely to happen. And that's just because everyone has a specific need for a specific operating system. Um, it just it like you have different types of users. You got your Windows, your Mac users, your Linux users, and then your Chrome OS users, and they all have specific needs, and they all cater to specific people. A lot of it depends on if they're tech savvy, or like how smart they are with technology, or what's their budget in some cases. So it depends. I am trying to convince one of my friends to try out Linux. Do you have any advice on that? Um, the best advice that I can give is that when you're talking about Linux with people, make sure that you aren't acting like you're trying to enforce it on someone. Make sure that you are speaking from experience. Let them know how you use Linux and show them all the things that it can do, show them how it's been productive in your life, but never just be like, oh, well, you should just ditch Windows and you should ditch Mac because they're big corporations and they're doing all this evil stuff and, Windows recall and spyware and whatever else you can think of. Like, don't come at it from that approach. The best approach that you can do is just tell someone, look at all the cool things that I can do with this. Look at how much better my life has gotten in terms of productivity because of switching to Linux. That would be my advice. Just speak from experience, nothing more, nothing less. Make it a positive one. Yes, you can use NVIDIA on Linux. There are some distributions like Pop! OS, for example, that cater to a special file or like a special installation file dedicated to NVIDIA graphics. Just out of curiosity, what do you think about handhelds? Since Steam released SteamOS for any handheld and the Microsoft handheld being announced. How do I feel about that? I think handhelds are I don't know. I guess they're good. It depends on what you want to do. Handhelds would make it to where your games run better because they're more geared towards the games themselves and not for a desktop experience. Like, or in the case of SteamOS, as far as Microsoft's handheld, I know very little about that. I heard that there was one being in the works for a Xbox handheld, something like that. If they can do it, then that would be great. Well, about simplicity, I really feel that some Linux distros are even simpler than Windows. From installation to day-to-day usage, like Mint, Fedora, KDE. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that as well. Some like CachyOS. We talked about CachyOS just yesterday. I even did a review on it. CachyOS has a great setup. It's just like a simple setup. You go through the points, and you can pick which window manager or desktop environment you want, and they have like a huge selection. They focus on performance and stuff like that a lot, and it's helpful. So that's just what I would say. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that I could say on that topic. But yeah, Fedora, I don't have too much experience in that. I know that I tried it. It was like last year when they were on Fedora 40. I tried it. Uh, I mean, it looked pretty good, I would say, from what I remember of it. Would I immediately recommend it to somebody? No, but I wouldn't. I'd probably put it at like maybe an A or a B, somewhere around that area. Or I don't remember how I ranked it, come to think of it. But I ranked it kind of high just because like Fedora is a good alternative, I think. The only problem that I have with Fedora is that they want to update every 6 months. And like I guess that's my biggest problem in general with it because I am someone that just wants a rolling release. At this stage in my life, I just want a rolling release, and I want to be able to, um, just do it how I want to. Well, thank you. Unfortunately, we stopped playing games about an hour ago because we ran into some complications. Um, so, some of the things that we're going to look into, we figured out that the GPU is not being used. We figured out the CPU needs to be at a constant 3.4 gigahertz. Vulkan needs to be installed, and we need to make RAM use VRAM as well. We need to install Oh yeah, I already said that. Butterfly. Um, I assume you're talking about my logo. If that's the case, that's not really a. It's not a butterfly, but I can see how you would confuse it with a butterfly. I didn't even think about that. That is interesting. Yeah, that's my old logo though. My new one is more like a. It's interesting because when I made the logo, the new logo, it was supposed to be a penguin, and I think it looks more like a tiger. But yeah, I plan whenever I get my tablet in, I plan on doing like a like a redesign of my avatar, or like my character, like make him have a full on thing. I want to. I still want to keep the face, but I want to be able to do like a yin butterfly. Yeah. Twitch, what are you doing, my dude? Did this thing just? You know what I've come to the conclusion of? I think it is Twitch. Twitch is like disconnecting the session or disconnecting the stream, I think. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to be funny, which was not successful. Hey, I have moments like that all the time. You know, don't beat yourself up over it. I've had moments like that all the time. Oh, didn't know you already tried the games. What did you play? Yeah, so I tried the games about an hour ago. So the first game we did was I played from Steam. It was the Mega Man Legacy Collection. We tried the excuse me. We tried the first Mega Man, and it was not doing so well in FPS. It was hitting around 30 FPS when it should have been hitting at 60. Um, but in that regard, like everything else looked good. And then Jurassic World crashed on me after trying to play around with VSync, because I was trying to figure out why it was going so slow. Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, Lego Jurassic World, was not running as well as I wanted it to, and it was slow frame rate and just making the game very slow in general. But it did run, and I think it would have ran better if I wasn't streaming. In fact, most everything that I played today runs better when I'm not streaming. So that's the deal. Is that I just don't need to play while I'm streaming, I guess, unless I fix the issues that come up. And then we played Super Mario Brothers 3. The frame rate looked like it was staying constant, but however, the game was running slow, and then OBS was fluctuating in FPS. So that's kind of where I'm at with the gaming. And so that means that I've got to go back today, and I've got to figure out how to do all the stuff that I wrote down that I need to do to make gaming better. It's either that or I just need to switch to CashOS. What time is it at your place? It is 12:14 in the PM. So, yeah, that's the thing about the gaming, though. The gaming, like, I would have had a better time if I just had even some of this stuff fixed. Like, I don't know how else I can tweak it, because it's if I can't fix it with doing the things that I need to do, then it's just going to be my computer. That's what it's going to come down to. It's just my computer that I'm having issues with. So I don't know. You know? once I do the tweaks, figure out how to optimize it, we'll see how it runs again. But I don't know. I can't guarantee anything right now. That's where we're at with it. Oh, dang, I missed the games. Well, I have to go. I'll tune in sometime. Keep up the work. Thank you. And also thank you for joining. I'm glad that you were here as long as you were. And like I said, if you ever need me, just join the Discord server. If you've got a Discord, because that's going to be pretty much the only way to get in contact with me. Unless you comment on YouTube. I'm not sure how you would go about doing that, but yeah, I look forward to seeing you in future streams. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so um yeah, that's the thing about the gaming though. And I had problems with gaming before I even started because like I tried to plug in uh my USB controller. It was like a SNES controller, and it would not recognize it. I go and I plug in my other controller, and it recognizes every button like it's supposed to. So, got a controller that doesn't quite work out so well. That's kind of sad. Um, but yeah. Oh boy, gotta do some stretches. Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say too was that you can also watch you can go back to the VOD once it's done. You can go back to the video and rewatch the first hour of this stream. That's also an option. I just wonder, knowing me creating an awkward moment for everyone. No, it's all good. I'm just trying to think of some stuff. Like what I was gonna say was that I'm looking forward to my drawing tablet coming in today because I want to see how well it will work with Linux. Because like I have to install some drivers for it, and then just kind of go from there. See how that works out, you know. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about anything that you plug in, really. Like you are risking whether or not it will work on Linux, and that was certainly the case for me when it came to my microphone because I thought that it wasn't going to recognize my microphone, but it did, and I can see the lights on it moving and all that good stuff. And so I have a mic that if I touch on it, it will mute the mic, and then I touch it again to unmute it. It is the best thing in the world to me because then I don't have to go and click buttons just to mute myself. It's really helpful to me. In fact, I've got a boom arm that is supposed to come in today as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And another pop filter. So I'll have two pop filters essentially going on. Because I was, at one point, for some reason, I was recommended that I use two pop filters. And I didn't know why, but like my boom arm comes with a pop filter. So it's going to work out great that I guess that I have two pop filters. I don't even know if you can remove this one that's on it already. But yeah, looking forward to all of that. And yeah, so what are some other things that we can talk about in terms of Linux? What has been going on with Linux lately? Um, let's see. So I've heard a lot about CachyOS. Has anyone tried any new or any distributions? It doesn't have to be new, but like, have you tried any distributions that are new to you? I would be interested in knowing how that went for you, if you did. And also, I guess another question would be, what distribution would you recommend to someone? And it can be for any use case. So like if they're new, if they're experienced, like what do you think would be like a good uh, distribution to recommend to someone? Yeah, I almost lost my mobile while installing Linux in it. I don't know how it was working, but then the GitHub website was in progress. Hmm. Okay. Gotcha. Do 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 do. So yeah, got a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to in terms of streaming. So definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the Discord. Then that way you get updates. You can talk to me if you want to on there. Um, it's gonna be great. Got lots of plans here, boys. Lots and lots of plans. The only video that I really have planned, like I said earlier in the stream, was like Viadude Mini, because like everything else, because like I'm other than like making a video or a short here and there, I plan on just doing live streams for the most part because it's giving me more like watch hours doing that. And there's also more people coming in, which is really nice as well, and I appreciate that too. I try to recommend people to add a new machine for something they couldn't do before, with the distro chosen to one specific task. Okay, that's an interesting approach. So let's see. Recommend people to add a new machine for something they couldn't do before, with the distro chosen to one specific task. Yeah. So one of the things that I wasn't able to do before, which on Windows is like very difficult, is using something called FFmpeg. I haven't used FFmpeg in forever, but when it comes to converting videos and shrinking your videos down to a specific size, that is a awesome command to use. I would recommend it. And I've got videos on FFmpeg as well on the channel. FFmpeg is great for being able to convert your videos to whatever format and then also make them smaller in size, in file size, I mean. But still somehow claiming the original aspect ratio and all that good stuff and the pixels on it. It still does really well. And now we take a break. I just need a moment to like stop talking so I can like get my head together. But yeah, that is absolutely a good way to look at it. Um, just choose something that you couldn't do before. What actually that's actually a good question too. Like, what are some things that you couldn't do before you started using Linux, but now you can because of Linux? That's definitely an interesting question. Like, for me, I couldn't. Oh yeah, you know what? On an unrelated topic, VTubing is really difficult in Linux. That's the one thing that I have found that I can't really do as well. I have Viadude Mini, but it doesn't move my mouth the way I want it to. I was told that I could use a GIF to have the mouth movements the way I want them to as I'm speaking. I didn't know I could do that. So that might be something I go into OpenTunes and maybe do something, or I don't know how I would make a GIF any other way, though, is my thing. So like I guess for like a second I do like one mouth position, for another second I do another position. I wonder if you could do that in Krita, which is we're gonna try out Krita in a stream, in my drawing stream, and see how that works out. Yep. Um, just making sure everything looks good. Yep, everything seems to be running fine. Okay, well, I think until I get my tablet in, I think like I said, probably tomorrow or Sunday, probably gonna be more like Sunday is when I'll do another stream. We'll do a drawing stream, and then Monday we'll do a maybe a gaming on Linux part two, or maybe do a window manager desktop environment tier list. We'll do one of the two come Monday. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for now, so that way I can get some sleep because I got work today. And so yeah, I wanna thank everyone for being here. Uh, just as a reminder to everyone, I've already said this before. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy my content and want to see more. Um, Also, join the Discord if you would like to get in contact with me or talk with other Linux users, post your risings, ask questions, or get help and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you, and I shall see you guys in the next stream.